What's good, everybody? And welcome, Mindset family. If it's your first time viewing, welcome. If it's your returning, welcome back. I am the Nappy Dreamer.
And I am Kia Blaine.
And we are the Melanin Mindset. You weren't even going to try tonight, friend?
I wasn't even going to try because it's a disaster every
Anyway, all
time.
right. And it was the dramatic pause for me. The fact that that one gray hair is shining.
It's glitter. It's glitter.
It's the fact that I paused and waited for you, though. That's the problem. I paused and waited. Anyway, if it's your first time viewing and you're viewing us on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on those notification bells so you're amongst the first who hear when we go live. If you're watching us on Facebook, go ahead and follow our page, like us, show us some love, throw a few emotions up the screen. Find us on Instagram, Melanin Mindset _, Twitter, Melanin Mindset _, and then TikTok, the Melanin Mindset, okay? And you will be in tune with all the stuff, all the things, right? All the things that the Melanin Mindset is doing. All right. So I was gonna kick it off to my friend, right?
No, you can. You still can. But I'm just gonna pass it back.
All right, friend, go ahead, take it.
So today, sometimes the holidays kind of fall close around our broadcast time. So we wanted to make sure we talked about this before it happens so that you guys can celebrate properly. So today we're talking all things Juneteenth. Now, I don't think I'm the only one. I kind of feel bad. But honestly, for me, I just learned about Juneteenth. How long ago? Only like pre-pandemic, like 2019 is when I learned of Juneteenth. Like I didn't know. I didn't know anything about it. I was working and the school was doing an event and I was like, oh, let's go over there. So we took our class over there and learned all things Juneteenth at school in 2019. That's when I learned about Juneteenth. So I felt as though it was necessary for us to do this because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who just realized, like, oh, this is something we should be celebrating. So now my expert of a friend over here will be telling you what Juneteenth is.
All right, so friend, I'm literally gonna just give them the straight up. We're gonna talk straight tonight. We're really just having this is an authentic conversation. All right, we want to know where you're coming from. We want to know what you know, and we're gonna share what we know and have acquired as knowledge. Okay, so Listen up. So Juneteenth is actually now a federal holiday. Hold up 1 second. That right there.
That's as of when, friend?
Oh, I believe it was like 2 years ago.
No, it's like last year, I think.
When did they make it official? It was last year. It became official. Last year. Yeah, didn't Uncle Joe sign it last year?
I think 2021 was the first federal holiday.
Yep.
First time Juneteenth was considered a federal holiday.
Yeah, and it's commemorating the emancipation of enslaved African Americans. All right. So it's often observed for celebrating African American culture. It originated in Galveston, Texas, and it has been celebrated annually on June 19th in various parts of the United States since 1865. So in one way or another. However, it didn't have its first huge celebration until June the 19th, and that was in 1980, and that was also in Texas, where it all came full circle. So what exactly went down on Juneteenth? I'm gonna give you that, and then y'all, we just about to start talking, okay? So here's what happened, right? So picture
what
this.
Had happened was
right. Picture this, right? In 1865, it was some African Americans. They were yet enslaved, and they were doing the thing they had been doing for so many years prior. Well, this dude, his name, let me get it, y'all. We do have facts, so bear with me. I have his name. He is Major General Gordon Granger. He arrived in Galveston by order or executive order, which means presidential order in their words, right? He showed up to let them know, hey, these people are supposed to be free. Yeah. Now, I don't know if I just said this or not, but there were upwards of 250,000 African Americans still enslaved. And mind you, in 1865, that was 2 years. 2. after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed and slaves were set free. So here's what went down though. On that day, when they arrived in Texas to let them know that the slaves should be set free, what ended up taking place is automatic equality. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think everybody was happy about that, friend?
No, not at all. Of course not.
No. So what we're going to be talking about tonight is some of those loopholes people got into and some reasons why
Mm-hmm.
you need to celebrate your heritage and know where you came from or where all of this stuff got started. Juneteenth is not just only a barbecue, just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Juneteenth absolutely represents something major. And as far as historians are concerned, the US of A or America has two Independence Days. And I did not know that until I started researching. So I had to actually do a little research on Juneteenth to make sure I got my facts straight.
Mm-hmm.
So, according to the United States, there are two Independence Days. That is the original one that they have always and forever supported, which is July the 4th, 1776. And then there is June 19th, 1865. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So, friend, what you want to ask the people?
I don't know. I just while I was listening to you, I was thinking like, so when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1863, like we shouldn't we celebrate that too? I don't know. It just
No,
it
because
was
it wasn't
because
finished.
because everybody didn't get the memo.
No, they didn't all
So,
get the memo.
so we celebrate the addendum.
Right. And then
The
let me tell
update.
you the even the crazier part. How about this was a third general order? In other words, there were two preceding it.
Yeah, I had to tell you 3 times. You know how much trouble I'd be if my mama told me to do something 3 times? It took
Three
3 times
times.
for me to do what I was supposed to do.
Picture
America.
that.
Gotta love
Listen,
America.
listen, that part. So, is there anybody before we dive into it too deep? Is there anybody viewing right now who currently celebrates Juneteenth or was aware of Juneteenth before you saw our title?
Yeah. Like
How about that?
how did you guys celebrate Juneteenth?
Right. Share with us how you all
It's like
celebrate.
getting parole and then you gotta wait on your release date. Okay.
Yeah. Uh,
Okay. I guess that's what had happened.
I can see that. I can see that. Anybody out there currently celebrate Juneteenth? Now, while we're waiting on those answers, Juneteenth actually gets its name from the month that it falls in and the
Mm-hmm.
day it happened. So,
Mm-hmm.
19th of June,
Mm-hmm.
Juneteenth. It has also been called a few other names, right? Like Juneteenth National Independence Day, Jubilee Day, Emancipation Day, Freedom Day, and Black Independence Day. That. So,
So
those are all the names
like
it's gone
who
by.
came up with the name Juneteenth? Because that's like real that to me, that's like super black. You know how you take the daddy name and the mama name to make the baby name? Like they really put together June and 19th and came up with Juneteenth. Like,
Absolutely.
even if you didn't know what Juneteenth was, you would suspect that it had something to do with black people just by the name.
That part, that part. So, Kimberly, I'm about to school you on something, and it's probably not going to make you too happy.
Mm,
But even though in 1865 slavery was done or supposed to be done in Texas, there were still a few other places that had a couple of little unknowing workers, and that's the best way
mhm.
to put it. And I believe it went all the way up to 1942. I think is the date that the final slave was set free.
And then
And that
when you think about it, just because people couldn't own slaves, like segregation was still very much a big thing. It still took another how many years before other people even saw black people as people. So
Right. So the initial order that was released, right, and a lot of this is going to be factual. So the initial order that was released took place, and what the idea was is that it was going to slate African Americans or Black people. Can I say Black people? I can say Black people.
you can
So
say
it
black
was
people.
going to put Black people in a place, right, or melanated people in a place where they would have equal rights to land, property, and employment as non-melanated people. That
Mm,
was the initial order. So
mm-hmm,
I know friend, and
mm,
anybody who was alive prior to myself or my friend, there were
mm-hmm.
some loopholes that people found and
Yeah.
managed to jump through. So some of the earliest ones were things like they would find a melanated person that was in debt, right? And they had money, and they would pay the debt for the melanated person in exchange for free labor.
Yes.
They would add interest to the work. So let's say I'm in debt $10. I don't have $10. My friend has $10.
Mm-hmm.
She pays the $10 for me and says, in exchange for my $10, then what you're going to end up doing is working for me for 10 months. Each month will work off $1. But
Mm-hmm.
during those 10 months, I am going to find ways that you are not fulfilling your call on your end of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm adding more time.
Yeah. Or interest. So if it was 10 months, now it's 15 months.
Right. Or
Mm-hmm.
I fed you on this day. And these
Mm-hmm.
people were living in these same like settings or whatever that were in before. So they were
Yeah.
getting these people paying their debts and then housing them back in the same places that their parents at this point, because it was that close to that time,
Yeah.
their
Because
parents had been staying in.
you're still enslaved. Yeah.
Yes. Then there's other things that you should take place, like I want to say the word is vagrancy. I could be saying it a little bit wrong, but basically where you don't have a job,
Mm-hmm.
where you don't have a job. So if you're without a job, you could be fined and put in prison. One of the biggest loopholes was that slavery was abolished, all but including people who violated the law.
Mm.
And friend, we talked about these percentages, right? But we're
Mm-hmm.
not we're not gonna get there yet. But we did talk about those percentages.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's something. It is something. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
as you should. Listen, Kimberly, if you can get him on here, I would love to hear what he has to say. Um, that's her father. He
Mm-hmm.
is
I
I
don't
want
know
to
why
say
I
late
assumed that.
80s. Yeah, in his late 80s. And so by not having employment, you could be fined. By not by having sex without being married, you could be fined. There were fines that were put in place just for a black man dating a white woman. However, a white
Man.
man could date a black woman.
Yeah.
So if a black man was found having relations with a not black female, he could be subject to punishment, and it could be
Mm.
any form of punishment. However, a non-melanated man could definitely not necessarily espouse, because the love thing, that trial. But he's watching. Right, so with that, it's like with that whole situation, that was a little bit different, but they weren't able to espouse a non-melanated woman. However, I mean a melanated woman. However, they were able to get away with. You get what I'm saying? They could get away
Mm.
with it. So I did write a few notes on here. There's things called black code. That's what I'm referencing, all of that. So friend, what comes to mind when you think about some of the stuff that I was saying to you earlier about the black code?
I don't know.
They're restrictive laws. They're designed to limit
It
the
just
African
sounds to
American.
me just like it. I mean, black code sounds like a pretty word for discrimination.
Well,
And
I don't know if the word was supposed to be pretty.
oh, black, because if you say discrimination, it's like, oh, that's bad, but it's like, oh, the black code, like, oh, what's that? It sounds more intriguing than racism, discrimination. Yeah, same thing. Just
Listen, how about black people had to sign contracts each year to work?
for what?
That was they had to
To
work.
sign a contract for what though?
To work. Labor
Oh, to work.
contracts.
I didn't hear you say
Yeah.
to work. Okay.
Oh, I'm like, to work. That's it. Just to be able to work. They weren't allowed to make more than a non-melanated person.
So the contract was basically just letting you know they like you working, but you're not equal.
Right. You're not allowed to offer competitive wages.
mm.
It was so much stuff that was in those black codes. Girl, I got stuck. Stuck. You hear me? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so with all of that, they're not able to they can't switch jobs. You're bound to a job, friend. So like on Everybody Hates Chris, she's like, my man got two jobs, and she out of there?
Yeah,
Nope.
she wouldn't have been able to do that
Nope. She can't be out of there, bruh. She's
because
stuck.
once you signed your contract, you got to stay working.
But no, the contract wasn't even to your employer. It was a government thing.
Mm.
It was a government thing. Basically, you're signing on saying that you're gonna get $1. $1 an hour, not literal dollar, because some
Mm-hmm.
people were getting anywhere from 40 cents to $1.
Yeah.
And so they would sign these contracts saying they were going to work. But guess what? If you saw a neighboring farm offering $2 instead of the $1 you're getting, you cannot go over there. And they
Mm.
legally can't offer you a job. And if they offer you that employment, they can only pay you what you're currently being paid.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
The crazy part about it is like it sounds like, oh my gosh, but really the way our system is set up now, it's not that much different. It's really not that much different.
So about Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, another one that I found out, they have apprenticeship laws, basically where minors that were forced to work for free. Get this, friend.
Mm.
If they felt like the parents were not monetarily able to support the child would be
Okay.
brought in under something called an apprenticeship law, which would cause them to work for free
Mm.
for a non-melanated family, who would in turn give them food and
And
somewhere to
somewhere
stay.
to sleep. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, how
Or
generous.
yes, it is. It
Mm-hmm.
absolutely is.
Mm-hmm.
Whole facts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's get on into present day. The prison system, friend. Do you feel like some of these black codes are perpetuated in the structure of our
And
prison?
that's basically what I was gonna say. Like they just took it. It's not away. They just put it somewhere else that nobody would care that they're doing it to these individuals. Basically.
So I'm gonna drop some more facts on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's my role tonight, y'all. I'm dropping all
Yeah,
the
you
facts.
the fact dropper.
All right. So listen, African Americans account for only 13.4% of the U.S. population.
Mm-hmm.
However,
According to what they say. According
now
to what they say.
you should bring up the point that you brought up when we first looked at this statistic. You were like,
What they say.
it's more than that. When you were
I'm
saying
not
that
everywhere
people in
I go
Marcus,
is brown people. Everywhere I go is brown people, and they keep multiplying. They got more kids than the non-brown people, and I'm just trying to figure out. I really think it's just because, number one, like we don't do the census. It was like I'm not filling that out. I'm not doing that. So it's just like I think a lot of it is just us not being counted, but it's more out here. But whatever, let go of what Google said. Google said it's only
listen,
13%
and
of
it's
us.
some of us who are filling out the census and checking the other box.
Yes, that too. Then you got the ones who don't want to say that they, yeah. Mm.
So, but with that 13.4%, how about we account for 38.3% of the prison population?
Wow. I don't know why I assumed it would be more than 50%. Because that's how they make it seem. They make it seem like ain't nobody in there but us.
Now, I'm gonna be real with you. Non-melanated people do take, I think it was like 56% of the prison system. But at the same time, if you look at the percentage of them, y'all, I didn't record that number because I was really focused on Juneteenth. So please don't hurt me for that. But they take up 56, I think, percent of the prison system.
Well,
However, their
you said
numbers,
it take up 38.
no, we do. Melanated
Yeah.
people do. But
Yeah.
non-melanated people take up 56%.
Yeah.
You remember you were saying you thought it would be 50? I was saying no. Actually, non-melanated people take up 56%. But here's the deal:
No,
if
I
you,
was saying that I would have thought that it would have been more melanin people than
oh,
38%.
okay, got you now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So with us only being 13% of the U.S. population, but 38%
What's the two
of,
categories, Stan?
we only exceed in crime in two categories. Oh, which ones?
Yeah, I want to know that. What's the two categories?
Put it on the screen here. Let me put it up there.
Yeah, he said the same thing you did too, and white people lying about their race.
Uh huh. Oh man, Stan, I want to see that. So with that drastic difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to think about it with the black codes that happened back in the mid late 1800s. He said robbery and murder.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, well,
Oh yeah, because all these big these money crimes, that ain't us.
Now, it's some of us out there who done got hip to the game and they got whatever they got going on, but
Yeah,
it ain't
yeah.
all us.
But
That is not all
that's
us.
usually not us.
No. All right, so with those numbers came me looking a little bit further, right? And so that's when I started finding out that the federal prison industry, y'all, produces 100% of all military helmets, war supplies, and other equipments
For free.
for the free.
For free.
Not really for the free. Some of them get between 90 cents and $4 a day
Okay.
for the low low.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing it for the low low.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Workers are supplying 98% of the entire market for equipment assembly services, 93% of paints and paintbrushes, 92% of stove assembly parts, 46% of body armor, 36% of home appliances, and 30% of headphones, microphones, speakers, and 21% of office furniture. Y'all, they in there making airplane parts for the free.
Mm-hmm.
They in there making medical supplies. They're in there doing so much more than you probably ever be aware of them doing. Now,
I would have never even thought about that. But so all this stuff that say made in the USA, the prisoners is the ones making it.
bruh,
Hmm.
remember I read those major companies? Y'all, we agreed not to name the major companies.
Mm.
All right, we agreed not to name the major companies, but there are some pretty big companies out there. Some of them got secrets, and that's all I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna say. Some of them got secrets, and some of their personal, intimate items are having the tag switch from made somewhere else to made in the U.S. by our prisoners.
Mm.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so your undergarments.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are even stitching the undergarments. What was that?
Mm-hmm.
Orange is the new
Why it's
black.
important to wash your clothes before you wear
Absolutely.
them?
Um, you remember on? Well, you didn't watch. Did you watch Orange is the New Black?
I did not. I saw a few episodes here and there, but I did not.
I watched. I watched it. I watched it start to finish at least twice. And but in there they have an episode where the girls at the women's prison system,
Mm-hmm.
they were sewing underclothes. They were making underwear. And it was for some company. It never named the company, but it was funny because when I did this research and I found out that this particular company has them changing tags on undergarments, it tripped me out because I'm like, it
Hmm.
was in the show. It was in the show. They were making these underclothes, but they were doing it for free. It was a benefit to them to be able to
Oh,
get out and do something. They
yeah.
counted it, they made it like a beneficial thing. What's being
Mm-hmm.
done about the mass incarceration of black and brown men?
What's that? A new episode topic? Because that's what that sounds
That's got to be. Let's write
like.
that down.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm gonna call him Deacon Johnson because I want to be respectful. So Deacon Johnson, thank you for that because we need to write that down. We Did you
Mm-hmm.
write it down, friend?
Mm-hmm. I got it.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's definitely something that's gonna have to come up. We got to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
We got to talk about that. That's a good one. But with all of these different things that are going on, like they're processing meat. All right, if you want to have it your way, you can. It can be fresh, never frozen. Some of these fast food chains, they're using meat processed by prisoners, inmates, for free. For free. So we want to get into the part that probably stands out the most. Yes, ma'am, in prisons. In prisons. One of the NBA
Wait,
stars, a retired NBA star, owns a prison? I'm sure.
owns a prison or is in prison? Because then she kind of corrected.
No, she said in prisons. When I was saying the meat part, I think is where that came from. Yeah. Do you know who it was, Kimberly?
Mm.
Oh, Knob. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Stan. We need you here when we talk about that. When we talk about that,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, we need you
Mm-hmm.
here when we talk about it because
Oh,
that.
he owns a prison.
Oh wow, number 23 owns a prison.
No, 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 no.
You said Jordan or Johnson? Yes, MJ. Yes, they're saying Jordan or Johnson. So that leads toward number 23, MJ
Uh-huh.
owns a prison.
Interesting. Gonna look into that.
Listen,
Okay,
real.
I'm up here writing notes.
Listen. Start notes. Start the notes.
I'm
Start
like,
the notes.
I can't really comment on this yet because I feel unprepared. Yeah, see,
We are not
I love our
knowledgeable.
viewers. Like, I love our viewers. They keep us going.
Listen, I am not commenting on that because y'all, I only studied this week for Juneteenth. I didn't study on that one, so I'm
It's
not gonna
not him.
comment.
It's another guy named Michael Jordan.
Oh grief.
Child,
Um,
we'll bring y'all the answer maybe in an Instagram post.
right, that part. We're gonna
Because
look that
I
up.
don't even know. I don't even want to touch that right now. I didn't know that.
Woo!
And now a word from our sponsors.
That part. Let's go ahead and jump on over. Y'all, we are brand ambassadors for Dianu Apparel. Y'all stick with us. We're gonna be right back. What's good, Mindset family? The Melanin Mindset is thrilled to announce we are the newest brand ambassadors for Dianu Apparel. Dianu Apparel is a black-owned apparel company that offers trendy African-inspired prints in each and every garment. They're offering our listeners 15% off their purchases just by using promo code Melanin Mindset. There's something for him, there's something for her, and there's even something for the kids. So head right over to dianu.com using the description link down below, or just simply enter Melanin Mindset at checkout and save today. Welcome back, Mindset family. Thank y'all for sticking with us. If you're viewing us on YouTube, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications so you can be amongst the first to find out when the Melanin Mindset goes live. The next thing I'm going to ask of you is to find us on Facebook and make sure you follow. Look us up on Instagram, Melanin Mindset _, as well as Twitter, Melanin Mindset _. And then come on over for a good time on TikTok, y'all. We on TikTok, the Melanin Mindset. And I think we're going to try and do better about going live there because I know we had kind of amped y'all up about that. And then it just like, that. So, anywho, let's encourage you all as well to share this with someone you care about. And don't forget, protect your peace each and every week. So, friend, they were saying something before we went to break, and we had to just go on and cut the break because y'all had us.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all had us. Y'all had us.
Yeah. But
And we don't.
Let's try to bring it back to Juneteenth. And what I think we definitely went in and I think we understand what Juneteenth is.
So now you know our first
Mm-hmm.
half was dedicated to you finding out Juneteenth and what exactly it is. And Deacon Johnson mentioned Jim Crow, and that did play a major part. And it was actually born from the Black Code. So when the Black Code took place and those things were put implemented, and all of that was pretty much like forced on African Americans, and then we were deemed less than, for lack of better words. No, those are the words. We were deemed less than.
Mm-hmm.
There's no better words to describe it. That's just what it was. And from there, as things became more civilized, for lack of better words, that is lack of better words, more
Mm-hmm.
civilized. That's when Jim Crow became a formal layout. Like it was a formal list of rules or
Yeah.
like outlines and things like that. But Deacon Johnson, you would really have to school me on Jim Crow because I know Deacon Johnson is definitely one of our seniors, and
Mm-hmm.
he's probably got his fair share of knowledge about that period in time. I would, oh
Okay.
man, I'd love to just sit and talk to him about that.
Okay.
So let's get into the celebration part of it. What joy this holiday has brought in helping us remember where we came from, or should I say where it all started?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is what something I always say, like we have been very easy to adapt to all the holidays that were in place by non-melanated people prior to us being free. And yeah, we had the 4th of July cookouts. We got on our flag shorts and flag dresses and
Swim
scarves
shorts.
carrying on. But then holidays like that are to commemorate African American history and African American like triumphs and things like that, we treat them like it's nothing. Like it's that extra Friday in the month. Like like now, and I really think it's important, especially for our next generation, to know to celebrate these things because okay, now they're taking it out education. They're not gonna learn about it in school.
Mm.
It's being everything.
We talked about that in our recap,
Yeah,
critical race
our whole
theory.
history is being swept under the rug. So it's going to be up to us to really hone in and make sure our families know where they came from. It's going to be up to these families, up to these aunts, these mommies, these daddies, these older people in our families to make sure that we know our history and know to be proud and know that it's more to us than just, you know, this beautiful skin and this good hair. But
But I'm just saying, I'm not stopping you because you speak in facts. So go
yeah,
ahead.
right. Okay, so let's celebrate. So, one of the things we could do to celebrate everybody's. I don't care where you live. I know it's a Juneteenth celebration going on now. What I will say is to patronize Juneteenth events that are being held by melanated companies, organizations, that type of thing. Because let me tell you something. I'm so sick of the way people just use anything to capitalize financially on.
Don't say it,
Sometimes
friend.
it
Don't
is
say it, friend.
disgusting.
Friend, don't say it.
Sometimes it is disgusting.
Don't
So,
say it.
what we want to do is just to support us. So, if a lot of the Divine Nine, the sororities, the melanated sororities and fraternities are having events, seek those out. Go check those out. In your neighborhood, in your area. I will say this too, and this is probably not necessarily like a melanin business, but if your town's city hall or your whatever, if they're having Juneteenth events, go to those too. Go check those out. Like just go see what's going on because it is a good thing, and we need those types of things in our community to show that we matter.
Facts. We absolutely do. These are opportunities for us to gather and really celebrate the richness of culture.
Mm-hmm.
Not yes, we do need to recall and recount and remember the hurts that our ancestors went through and the things that they fought against. However, I'm sure that they would love their legacy to be remembered as a win.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
us to come together and share the cultural richness of who we are. So I'm gonna share another fun fact, friend. I got another fun fact. Here we go. So
Mm-hmm.
Juneteenth celebration originally began in Texas, Galveston, Texas. The very first one was there, and one of the things that they used to commemorate, was by serving red food.
Mm-hmm.
They used to serve red food. Watermelon, red juice, this red cake that was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
But they used to serve red food, and it represented perseverance and the blood that was shed by their ancestors. So all of the food used to be red. So in other words, get you some barbecue sauce
Mm-hmm.
and
No, let
spread it
me.
on them ribs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get you a watermelon, some red
So
Kool-Aid.
the first Juneteenth event I went to was at the college I was working at, and we went over and they had food. They had food, and they had a PowerPoint presentation where they talked about, like, just like how we did, talked about what Juneteenth was, and then they also had like a little ceremony where we thanked the ancestors. But
Hmm.
all the food was red. Other than the macaroni and cheese, there was barbecue chicken. There was like it was something with some red peppers. There was watermelon. There was strawberry soda. Like, it was a lot of red stuff. So they had red velvet cake. It was actually pretty good too, because everybody can't cook red velvet cake, but it was good. I
No, they
wasn't mad
can't.
at it. They
That's a
did it.
fact. That's a
I They
fact.
did it. They
Girl,
definitely went and
listen.
found an old mother with a loose arm to make that red velvet cake because it was good. It was good.
I'm not fooling with you today. All right, so listen.
If their arm don't jiggle, they can't cook.
Most of the time, that's a fact. Listen, so I'm going to the Juneteenth celebration in the city. Y'all, if I haven't said it enough, I live right here on the edge of South Atlanta. All
Hmm.
right. And there is a festival going down on Saturday. So if you are in Atlanta, anywhere near it, around it, close by it, come on. It's free, y'all. It's free.
Yeah.
Or you
And
can
a
get your
lot of these
ticket.
events are free too.
Yes, on the 18th. It's completely free. Or you can come on Sunday to the Juneteenth 5K, and it is $42 a ticket.
Hmm.
And it's a donation to help raise money. So just be mindful. If you just go on Eventbrite and type in Juneteenth at this point, I'm telling you something's gonna come up close by.
There's something somewhere.
Always something. Or
Yeah.
Google Juneteenth events. We would love for you to tag the Melanin Mindset. Okay, so tag the Melanin
So
Mindset in your Juneteenth
yeah, if you
celebration.
go and you go to something or you have a Juneteenth celebration, we definitely would love to see it.
Yes, I'm up here. I'm taking all the notes over here because he has given us everything in this chat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally writing it all down.
It gets no blacker than strawberry soda.
Oh man, I'm looking at all of this stuff. We coming back with the episode centered around his first comment. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, strawberry soda is literally it. Now, don't let nobody make you feel bad for eating no watermelon either, friend. And I feel like we've said
Well,
this
first,
before.
I ain't never felt no bad about eating no watermelon. Watermelon is very
We
tasty.
was tearing up that watermelon at graduation, bruh. At
Watermelon is
graduation,
good.
after graduation, that watermelon, we cut
Mm-hmm.
that bad boy in half and was walking around with chunks of watermelon, just tearing it up.
Just
But
living our
no,
best life.
watermelon actually represented wealth for our melanated ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
They used watermelon to build wealth. It was such a delicious fruit. Everybody loved it. And they were making such good money off producing watermelon. And
Mm-hmm.
then of course what ended up happening? It got flipped on its ear where
Yes.
it was made to sound they used to do like the black face where they would be eating the watermelon all messy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or they were talking about how it's a stigma where black people only eat watermelon and stuff. They made it a bad thing, so then black people started getting ashamed and they wouldn't eat the watermelon. And so the watermelon, the production of the watermelon started to leave our hands. All
Yeah.
right, and so when it started to leave our hands, then it went in another way. And you know how it is. Y'all see where you gonna get a watermelon
And
today.
that's something I really just need us to like really take our time and pay attention to. Like, because there are people out here who want to make it seem like things that we do, they're really good and they're really great. And the only way they know to discourage us is to make fun of it or make it look bad. When in all actuality, it's great. It's good. That's the only reason why. Because why else would you try to tear it down?
Yeah, and Deacon Johnson said that it's not as sweet as it used to be. And I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. I just remember being a kid and we used to be tearing it up. And my childhood is not close to his childhood, but still, I just remember when I was smaller, watermelon was just so much better. Sometimes you get a watermelon nowadays and it don't beat it. You know? Sometimes you get a
Also,
watermelon
too,
that's
like
not.
that's a whole nother episode too. But our taste buds change based on how we eat, and then also all of this stuff is so chemically pumped full of stuff that our taste buds can't even work right half the time. So yeah. Oh, I got a story about that yellow watermelon. So I didn't know that was a thing. So we were buying watermelon because
Mm-hmm.
we like watermelon in our family. And I cut open the watermelon and it was yellow, and I said, "Oh, this is bad." So I had went to like a farmer's market or whatever, so I was like, "Oh, this is just a bad one." Threw the whole thing away. Cut the next one open, and it was yellow too. So I said, "Let me Google this." So I didn't know. Oh my gosh, it was so good though. They're
It's
so
so good.
good.
I had my first yellow watermelon here in Georgia. I had my
Mm-hmm.
first yellow watermelon here. It was a guy down, actually on the corner, just down past my house. This guy was selling fruit on the back of his truck, and he had a watermelon cut open. And he was like, "I got yellow watermelon." I brought one home. My niece really wanted to try one. I just popped it open.
Mm-hmm.
I ate it, and it to me it was more juicy. It had more of
It's
a
very juicy.
yeah. It's way more juicy. But yeah, I think still the pink
It's
watermelon
like,
or red watermelon is sweeter. I just feel like it is. I don't know. It
yeah,
wasn't
I
bad
know
though.
they had a different taste. Like it's like to me, it's like a cantaloupe and a watermelon had a baby.
That's one way to look at it. Oh man, friend, let me drop these last couple of facts on these people, and then we're gonna start sharing what we plan to do this year for Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so y'all, Juneteenth is actually the oldest nationally celebrated commemoration of the ending of slavery in the United States, the longest running African American holiday. June 19th, 1865, they sent 2,000 Union troops to notify the 250,000. So there were 2,000 Union troops that had to go by order, executive order. Mind you, third general order at that
Mm-hmm.
that had to take
It's the
place
third time
in
your
order.
mama done told you.
Listen, I told you once, I told you twice. I'm not gonna tell you again. But then you know what? Let me go ahead and tell you again, because at this point,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I'm going to be posting. I will personally take the charge to post the details on that fact I shared earlier about the last official slave being released in 1942. It's a very well put conversation that takes place, and I'd love to share it with you all. So you'll see that in reality,
Mm-hmm.
the last slave was actually released in 1942, and it was by way of breaking the black code. Just so you know, by way
Mm.
of breaking the black code. So that's how that went. So, for what you got planned for Juneteenth this year, man? What you got going on?
Um, I don't. I don't. And if anybody knows me, you know I'm a last minute person. I'll figure it out by Wednesday. You know,
I cannot deal. So for Juneteenth,
I'll figure it out by Wednesday.
I shared with y'all. I'll be out at the festival, so I'll be dropping the link on there as well. I'll share the link out. And friend, if you find something in your area, go ahead and share the link too.
I did, yeah, okay, because I did see that there's something going on at the marina, and I think it's going to be a bunch of vendors, which is great because you get to go out and support melanated businesses. So I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is Father's Day. Fathers, we are not going to forget about you guys on Juneteenth, but please believe it's getting blended this year because both are important and both will be recognized.
Right. So just so y'all know, fathers, all of you wonderful fathers, we'll be doing a Father's Day episode on Monday next week.
Yes, we
So
will.
we'll be talking about Father's Day come up on Monday, like we did for Mother's Day. We did it that Monday. We're doing the same thing this time. But we want to encourage everyone to get out there and celebrate Juneteenth this year with your family. Educate your kids. We don't need your kids to be 16, 17, 25, or 38.
Yeah, like me. Finding out about
Juneteenth. Okay. We want to encourage you to educate them. And
I
if
mean,
anything,
for them, it at least would be better because it is a federal holiday now.
right,
So
whole
if it ever
facts.
falls on a Monday, they're gonna have a day off and they'll know.
Yeah, it depends. It depends though.
Mm.
And so
Mm.
everybody, yeah.
What about, okay, so like some people do have, like you were talking about the food and stuff. So yeah, like we'll probably cook all red foods. I'm gonna share my pictures of my red foods. And then, but like, okay, so here's the question for everybody. So like, do you invite your non-melanated friends to your Juneteenth celebration? Like, is that okay? Like, cause you know we got some diehard. I don't know who that's for, but hope your kids is listening.
I hope you received your message.
Loud with the exclamation point, loud and clear.
Listen, and I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it too. It says, "As a father, I don't want a tie,"
Don't
and
want
I'm
to
putting
tie.
that out there. He does not want a tie. Please don't bring him a tie.
Don't
Don't you
want no
bring him a
tie
tie.
now. Don't
You
want no
might not
tie.
get what you might not get the response you like, because he put it out on Beyonce's internet today that he does not want a
So
tie for
Stan,
Father's Day.
okay, I think Stan would invite his non-melanated friends.
For real, it's not my job to educate them all, but it is definitely my responsibility to make
Like
sure
I feel like
that
if
if I
I
can
have
share.
friends who I invite to everything else that are non-melanated, then yeah, I would invite them to that too.
Yeah, I would. If it was somebody who always got invited to the things, why wouldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
come on, because clearly they accept who I am. So let's go on and share a little bit with. Don't put that on the screen. All right, so all right, but no, I
But
would.
that
I'd
is,
invite
I'm
them.
pretty sure that's the feeling of a lot of people. I'm pretty sure as people we are divided on this, on whether to invite them or not. But
Y'all in this comment section being disrespectful. We can't even put y'all on the screen.
mm-mm,
They up here cutting up. We can't even put them on the
mm-mm.
screen. All right, so but no, I'm going to the festival though, friend. I'm going to the
Yeah.
festival.
Let me
I
tell you
was really
something. If you
hoping
go
you
to
would
the
have
festival,
came.
I need you to be blackety blackety black black when you go to this festival.
Oh, I am. I'm gonna be wearing my Melanin Mindset shirt. I'm
Yes.
gonna have I'm gonna have some cards. So come catch me because
Yes.
I'm be throwing them around. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely gonna have on my hat with the swag because it's gonna
Yes.
be hot. And
Yes.
y'all,
And you
you
got the
might.
locks draping.
Period. I'm about to get a fresh. I'm about to freshly retwist his hair. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we about to be out here. Okay, out
Yes.
here. She said, "No ties over here, Daddy."
No ties over here.
She not gonna get him a tie.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, I'm going to definitely make sure that I'm representing in all ways possible, as best I can at the
Yeah.
event. Okay, I
Yeah.
wanted my friend to come, y'all. Yeah, I'm putting out there. I wanted my friend to come. I was
Yeah.
like, you could come and then fly back and be there for Father's Day because you know the father need to be with his kids for Father's Day. But I'm just saying,
But who she gonna have trying to have me tied? Tied.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Who
So
knows? She might still show up on Saturday. It's her after all.
you know how I do. I
Yeah.
feel like we can wrap this one up.
Absolutely. All right. So, with
Mm-hmm.
that being said, you all make sure you share this with someone you care about. Protect your peace and show love in every aspect of the term. You deserve it. Okay.
And I'm
Please
gonna be
tag
looking for these Juneteenth pictures.
yeah, please tag the Melanin Mindset in any of your Juneteenth activities during the week, over the weekend. We cannot wait to see it. And if you do something special for the dads, yes, you can tag us in that too. We want to see it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but one question that we want to pose to the fathers out there: what does it mean to you to be a father? And so that's the question we plan to answer on Monday. All right. So, what does it mean to be a father? Like, what does fatherhood mean to you? All right. So, with that being said, again, thank you so much for tuning in with us this evening and hanging out, being our audience as always. We love you, we appreciate you, and we cannot wait to see you next week, y'all. We out of here.